So my scripts worked on both the host and VM. Um, I still need a bit more scripting to do, I guess. Uh, but so I have this is it. This is just this can probably be put lower. I'd have to do testing, and the thing is 1.5 is good, and always the thing with scripting is it's you make a script to do something, right? But if it fails, then you have to like continue the rest of the script and the rest of the actions by yourself. So if I go into this VM, do this, it does all this. But for example, if I wanted to do it faster by lowering n till I can't, I'm gonna have to do a couple of runs where it might fail here or any of these time not sleep spots. So and then I have a separate script to start. And then recently, I think for client, so the thing itself, this thing at the bottom here, I think one thing that's gonna be exciting is I want like kind of like I don't know. I'm thinking about creating a system where it's not just two connections, or it's not just one connection. It's two connections. And because I need different kind of like functionality and stuff. So right now it's one connection. Uh, uh, um, it's one connection. Maybe I have it in my. So here, this works. So I have one connection, and basically this function is responsible for receiving, and this other function is responsible for logic and sending stuff. If that makes sense. Uh, Instead, what I'm thinking is there will be two sockets created. One that can act like this, so based on any receive, it can do stuff. Um, but it'll have a unique name, so that way, any communication that goes on between servers and other clients will have a special, name to target the other socket connection. which is responsible for handling receive. And I think so that is for sure. One thing I want is for this and this to be kind of separate. So for like I almost want it to be a script. So I like my scripts folder. So these are uh, these are all the scripts, right? Uh, that I currently have on this just this VM. So you have a script to know where the mouse position is, different ways to create buttons and different buttons and stuff like that. For example, this one, um, automation stuff. But if I could have on my host machine, I have scripts to handle virtual machine stuff, and I have just depending on stuff, I have a script folder everywhere basically, even on my Windows virtual machines. And on my Windows VMs, I have Windows stuff, scripts. Still Python, still using a lot of this code ish. There's a Windows version of this code. So what I want is that socket to kind of be able to be better scriptable. So I could have a script create the socket connection initially. So whenever you launch this client script, it actually doesn't create a socket connection at the start. I think it'll create socket connection when you run it, but only because it'll run a script that creates that a different script that creates that suction connection rather than the script itself. And in that different script, the reason why I want to separate it out is so I can have like that multiple types of socket connections. For example, maybe so what will happen is, let's say I want to run multiple scripts on my host machine. Okay, this will disconnect my mouse and my keyboard at the same time. It'll send it. It needs. There has to be a send and receive, right? But let's say it didn't work, right, for some reason. Maybe because this VM script, or maybe the receive script on the receive side wasn't able to handle waiting for the VM script to disconnect the keyboard before calling Versh to disconnect the mouse, because Versh doesn't have, or any program might not have a queue type thing where you could just spam it with a whole bunch of stuff and it'll do things sequentially one at a time. So, and maybe I forgot to basically implement something on the receive side where it'll just tell this command, okay, I've received 2, but I'm going to wait before sending this second part, or on and on and on, before I'm going to wait for Versh. I'm going to do some sort of check on Versh to make sure that's done. And after that's done, I'll send a response. And maybe, or let's say I didn't send a response, as in there was a mistake on me creating the script. I could have it kind of pop up a different type of sucking connection, where it's like a verbose mode where maybe like there's a lot more output and maybe some more checks, um, and I don't know, and also maybe I want to create a system that can do a command like this in a kind of like a fancy way with multiple sub processes or stuff like that on threads or whatever. But either way, like just separating it out from this just to keep it a little bit cleaner if that's possible. But that might not be possible and I might not do it. But one thing I do want to do is the duplication of receiving, the separation of receiving and sending. Because when sending, I want a response back. But if I try to get a response back on the same thing I send, then this receive might take it instead. So I need to separate it out and know what I'm sending and receiving to pretty explicitly, and stuff like that. So, if that makes sense. And yeah, test. Okay. Check my achievements. I think for some reason I get the feeling that I'm kind of gonna be done, but not like done, because I won't ever be done, right? But I'm pretty excited about this achievement here. I'm hoping for something cool near the end of June, Monday. And just a lot more achievements uh, in a few weeks. It's gonna be cool. I don't think it makes sense right now for me to do this though. the shadow achievement for this is gonna actually gonna not be good, right? How far away is it? $30, 3 times as long. It's kind of rough. Okay, well, I think that's it for now. I'll be back again next time. Maybe I'll create a modified advanced version of this script that is just for a cookie clicker, I guess. Anyway,